All right, good morning, everybody. I just wanted to take a few minutes and share some local resources that I've recently found that are just really amazing resources. I am recording this instead of just doing an email like I do in the past because I'd like to make sure that this information gets to anybody who may need it. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to share my screen so that I can show you the websites. Okay. So we're going to start with the YMCA of Austin, which sounds really silly, but they have a counseling program and recovery coaching program, both of which are free to the community. They also have, oh gosh, I can't even find the last one. They also have some parenting programs and they have some like groups as well. And I can send a link if you might be interested in that. Some of the groups are things like parenting support groups, stuff like that. Pretty cool stuff at the Y. The Christie Center is a grief and loss nonprofit here in the Austin area. Everything they do is free. It's free to the community. I just want to pull up their calendar. They do grief groups for adults. They do grief groups for children and for adolescents. And that is very important because as we age, we process through grief differently. And right now there's a lot going on in society. We are coming, we're coming off of 2 years of COVID and we are getting ready to enter another wave. It's a bit of a silent wave right now, but positivity rates are going up. There have been a lot of mass shootings this year. There's and not to mention just life, right? And our losses in our everyday life. This website, christiecenter.org, has a lot of resources for how to talk to children about these events. And just a lot of opportunities for going in and just being with other people who have experienced what you've experienced to some extent. Never in the exact same way because grief impacts all of us very differently, but it does impact all of us. All of these groups are led by peers. They're led by people who have lost somebody. The children group and the adolescent group is obviously led by a child and an adolescent, but it's led by somebody who is experienced in working with children and adolescents. So if you have any additional questions about the Christie Center or about their grief groups, please reach out. I would love to share that information with you. I will also be printing out flyers to bring down and to put in that the flyer stand we have down in the front lobby. Okay. Dress for Success, we've talked about in the past. Dress for Success is a program. It's a nonprofit. It's a free program that offers support for anybody who identifies as a woman. So most of the time, if you're 18 or older and you identify as a woman and you need help getting an interview outfit. Professional clothes can be very expensive. And an interview outfit that includes, a purse and shoes and makeup and potentially some hygiene stuff. And that's also the kind of thing that if you're having trouble getting a hold of and this agency isn't able to help you, right? Like that's something I can also always try to help with as well. They do have mentoring classes. They have like 2-month mentoring sessions where you can like sign up and go to a class and get paired. So while you're trying to like look for work, you can be meeting with somebody weekly who can offer you some feedback on like what's going on or what you might be able to do or how you might be able to tweak your resume. They help with resumes. They help with interview prep. If you need, somebody to talk to about like, hey, I'm really nervous about this interview. This is a big deal. They're wonderful, right? You can schedule a time to do that with them as well. And they will help you with that. They will go through that interview process with you. They have a very strong success rate. I don't remember what it is off the top of my head, but I think it's over 90%, if I remember right, of getting women into jobs if they want. Okay. If you're interested in Dress for Success, please let me know. I will probably be reaching out to them to go and do a tour of their facility at some point soon. Now that things may be a little bit safer, it's hard to tell regarding COVID. But I'd like to go in and I'd like to see it. And if you guys are interested in just learning more, right, I have more information and they are also willing to speak with you as well. Okay. Recovery ATX. Recovery ATX, I think is related with, I don't know what organization it's related to, but it is a nonprofit and it is 2.7 miles away from your doorstep at Think East. They offer coaching, they offer recovery coaching services, they offer some case management. If you are an individual who has gone through your own recovery process and you are currently sober and would like to and feel as though it is in you to give back to that community, they also train peers. They train people who have gone through substance abuse and recovery, who are ready to help support other people going through that process of abuse and recovery, substance abuse and recovery. They're amazing. An old colleague of mine works there now, and she's phenomenal. She's very dedicated in this field. And she and I are partnering together on a lot of different initiatives, trying to get some things started. If this is something and if you are interested in like hosting like a 12-step group or an AA group or anything like that, they have room there. They have space there. So if you don't want to go to a local church or you don't want to go to library or anywhere else, this is also potentially an option. They have spaces specifically set aside for the community to utilize for those support groups. So if you're interested, let me know. I have lots of information. Would love to share it. Sunday lunchbox is a little bit less intense. Everything's going to take a moment to load on my computer today. Sunday lunchbox is very cool for a few reasons. They provide like a week's worth of lunches for children. I think it's anybody under the age of 12. And their reasoning is the size of the meal, right? So the meals aren't very big. They're specifically designed for smaller kids. If you are interested, let me know. You can fill out the referral form, but also let me know and I will reach out to the program coordinator who I was talking to when we first started. I know that we've had a few people in the community here at Think East utilize this service, and I've heard very positive things about the food. I've heard that it's good. I've had people ask me if they can get more. But their whole goal is to provide good, healthy, local food to Austin families, right? And it's delivered to your doorstep once a week. Okay. And it's free. All of these services that I've talked about so far are free. All right. And foundation communities, which most of you guys know about, but I did want to put back on your radar. They offer financial wellness, one-on-one financial coaching. So if you are in school right now, if you are in college, if you are in grad school, if you are just beginning your career, some of this financial coaching may be helpful. It may be something that's interesting. It may not be. But if it is free of charge. I will also be printing these flyers out as well, both in Spanish and English, and putting them downstairs in the lobby as well. But this is a service they offer anybody in the Austin community, not just somebody who lives at a foundation community's property. Okay. And last, but certainly not least, a resource that has been overlooked a little bit because we've been in a pandemic and their doors have been shut. The local library. So Austin Public Libraries offer a ton of resources. They do family events some weekends. They do story time. If you have kids and you're at home this summer and they are just under your skin and you're like, what can I do with them? There's a library. I think it's just up the road from you guys. Gosh, I even had it pulled up. Not very far away. I think you guys have like 2 to 3 libraries inside of 5 miles. Most of them have story time, right? Go get a library card, go do story time. Let your kids look at books or pick books out. And I just pulled up, I should move this here. Let me see if I can quickly move this to the June calendar. Here we go. But all kinds of things, and it tells you which branch it's at. I think this Willie Mae Kirk branch is the one that's right over by Think East. But there are always options, and there are there's 6 more items. Yeah, so here's the rest of the items for June 6th, right? There's a literacy play group. There's a literature live, which is basically a play. Camp Bluebonnet, which I don't actually know anything about. Sounds interesting. I'll probably look into that when I get off here. There's dual language classes. There's dual language. There's like Spanish reading groups as well, or story times. Oh my gosh, I lost my words. Read aloud afternoons. Teen writing lab. If you have a teenager who has maybe been struggling in school or who just enjoys creative writing, right? Like this could be a very cool opportunity for them to go and engage in something a little bit different in a safe space. And then 3:30 Minecraft Monday. Looks like that one's completely booked right now, but these events pop up regularly. You can follow them on like Twitter or on Facebook, or I assume on Instagram. Yep, it looks like it at the bottom. And they send out flyers for every event that they do. You can also just go to Austin Public Library events, and just search. And if you are having trouble with it, let me know. I will send you a link. I will actually probably put all of these links in the bottom of the video that I upload onto YouTube later today. Please, please, please. You guys are as hard and as tough as everything has been, particularly as things are getting more expensive, as gas is going up, as it's harder and harder to potentially find a job that will pay you a livable wage here in the Austin area, because inflation is out of control in the city. A positive to this city is we have so many nonprofits. We have so many opportunities for resources. We have so many free things to do, right? So there are almost always options. And it can be hard to remember that. It's hard for me to remember that. I mean, I stay here with like rental assistance sometimes, and I get very like overwhelmed because we had all of these options 2 years ago, but all of it is very drained. And like I had forgotten all about the Austin Public Library system and the resources that they have, and that they offer routinely for the community free of charge. And so please try to remember that that is at least a benefit to where you guys live. If you guys have any questions about any of these resources, like I said, I will share the links in the bottom of the YouTube video. I will also try to share the links in the email I send out to the community here shortly, so that you guys have an opportunity to go and to look at them. And if you guys do happen to engage in any of these resources and you have a positive or a negative experience, please share with me. All of that feedback is very helpful, both for me and for the agency. If you were to share something with me, I would not go and say, hey, by the way, Joe said that you're garbage, right? Like it would be, hey, like I have clients indicating that they felt unheard. Always protecting confidentiality, always, always, always. And that is only if you wanted me to. Okay. So, I mean, if I had one person come to me and was like, I didn't feel comfortable here, I don't want you telling them, I would not tell them. Eventually, if I have multiple residents come and tell me the same thing, I would have that conversation. But that if you are worried about that, that is also a conversation to broach with me as well. But thank you guys so very much. And I hope you guys have a great, 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 great weekend. And I look forward to seeing you guys all soon. Thank you very much.